When the sun disappears behind the mountains in Kathmandu and the tourists return to their hotels after a day of sightseeing and get ready for dinner, many Nepalese are on their way home. However, not all of them have a home that we in Europe are familiar with, and not all of them have a regular income they can live off, despite the fact you can buy practically anything in the city with a population of 2 million and worsening air pollution due to the increasing motorization. You can drive pretty well everywhere a motorcycle or car will take you. Before 4 in the morning, there are still only very few cars on the streets, but there are lots of people who are working. It is a cold night and Radha is selling tea to those waiting in line in front of the passport office in Kathmandu. A cup costs around 8 cents. She takes in around $18 a night and can thus support her family. The 18-year-old is usually accompanied by her younger sister.
No, the police don't bother people who are working. They understand the fact I'm standing here and earning a living. I've been doing this for 7 years and sell the tea every night. First I sell the tea in Tamil and afterwards I come here in the early hours of the morning, when there are no more customers in Tamil. The people wait very early in the morning to be first in line to pick up their passports.
Radha is still asleep when the city awakes the next day and the tourists are again on their way to the most important sites. The smog and the dust spreads over the city like a thin blanket. The hustle and bustle in the narrow streets becomes louder. All the people go about their work amid the hustle or else are looking for a side job to increase their income. The workers' WONDERworks, a privately run charitable society, are on their way to the support center. The organization was founded in 2012 and spontaneously provided grants to 10 women to help them start up a business. But the projects currently supported have become many and varied.
Many of the ladies that come here are single mothers, or they have left their homes and are unable to go back again from the villages. I guess really trying to earn a dignified living is a problem for them, so that's why we try to set them up in businesses or teach them a skill so that they can actually have something for themselves without being reliant on a husband or anybody else, to make them independent and I guess empower. Because WONDERworks stands for Women of Nepal, Dignity, Empowerment and Reintegration, and that's what we try to do here.
The WONDERworks Support Center is a sort of contact point. It is mostly young girls who are at risk or have been exploited. Women who have suffered domestic violence or have been trafficked come here as well. The aim of WONDERworks is to empower women and girls to achieve their own freedom through development. That includes learning the skills needed for a job, confidence building and healthcare. WONDERworks produces around 1,700 absorbent pads every year for the girls in schools in rural areas. It is here the women and girls find someone to talk to about their problem.
Few of the cases, like they have a conflict with their family, so they can also share here. So some of they maybe don't have any problem, but they like to spend time here. So and some of they are very needy. They need some special help, like we run a training or small business support. So we just through the process we find out it takes time and we just solve the cases.
WONDERworks is funded by donations and works with volunteers such as Pramesh Pradam. He is a sociologist and is involved in numerous projects. Radha has also come to visit today, the tea seller who tells us about her motivation.
Well, the support from WONDERworks was something really special for me. I had never experienced such a situation. Before I started the training here, I didn't earn very much money on the street. Since I received the training at WONDERworks, things have been easier. I can save money and we can use it to purchase new goods and various accessoires.
She also attends an evening school on the side. At the training center, Bimala is today explaining about the female body, about health issues and how to deal with them. Shanta's father, for example, wanted to force his daughter into a marriage against her will. WONDERworks enabled her to get an education.
At first I came here with my father and spoke to the teacher. She said the daughter should not get married and should learn a trade. Marriage is not good when girls are so young. It was not easy finding a job, and our financial situation was not good either. And so I came to WONDERworks and trained to be a seamstress.
During their time at WONDERworks, the girls are also given information about how they can best protect themselves against intrusive men and sexual harassment. Mark Davey teaches the girls and women during the 6 months they are here. He builds up their confidence and shows them skills to protect themselves.
We run this as a support centre with the idea that it does exactly that it supports the ladies. They can come here where it's a safe place to relax, they can meet people, they can learn something, they can feel loved and cared for, and and just come to us and if they need help in some way. And they're very welcome to come at any time.
For the past 3 years, WONDERworks has employed a trained seamstress to teach the women the tools of the trade. Taking measurements, trimming and, of course, sewing by hand are part of the training. The women also learn how to use a sewing machine and make clothes themselves. The women who are given training here are many different religions and castes. At the same time, the work is also a type of therapy and the women exchange information with each other. The staff members at WONDERworks, here in particular Bimala, give the women the feeling of a daily structure. Some of the women come to cherish for the first time their own personal value and what they have achieved. Bimala has been working for WONDERworks for 5 years.
I really do like to do the social works. So when I can see the smiles when they came first with unhappy face, maybe tear on their eyes, but later when they smile, it gives me a satisfaction that I feel like I do for a good purpose, and because of their happiness makes me very satisfaction that even I couldn't do much for them, but at least I can see their smile faces, so that's why.
At the end of the 6-month training, the women receive a certificate that will help them when they apply for a job. WONDERworks also finances startups so that the women can become independent in various fields. We pay a visit to Sita Kada in her cosmetics shop in the Greenland district. WONDERworks monitors her success.
I'm really proud that I've managed to open my own store. I'm very happy about the fact my life has changed. I hope that I can expand my store because I very much enjoy this type of work.
Our next district in Kathmandu is Balaju. About 2 years ago, Ramatapa opened a tailor shop. In the meantime, business is booming. WONDERworks helps the women by providing initial rent, stock, furniture, equipment and so on. The women needn't repay the funds, but once they are making a profit, are asked to give a donation of 15% of the investment to WONDERworks. This gives the women a sense of ownership. 95% of the women are able to stand on their own 2 feet.
The opening of my tailor shop was really rough, especially at the beginning during the first month. I first had to build up a customer service. I invested a great deal of my time. At the beginning I worked at home, but then the workload became heavier and I started to work in the shop, often in the wee hours of the morning with little sleep. It wasn't easy, it was pretty rough.
Before a startup is approved, the women have to complete a 6-week business training course. It costs around 70,000 rupees to finance a tailor shop and about half that sum for a home tailoring business. The sociologist Pramesh Pradam sees WONDERworks as an important institution.
Over the past 15 years, I have seen thousands of cases where women have experienced sexual exploitation in their own homes, in schools, and in the workplace as well.
And that is where he begins to draw attention to this abuse. Radha, together with her mother and her sister, sells passport jackets and uses the money to pay for advanced school training. She wants to find a better paid job. The patron of WONDERworks is the extreme mountain climber and conqueror of Mount Everest, Maya Gurung. She already knew in her youth what she didn't want.
When I was 14, I ran away from home because of wedding. Before wedding, I ran away from home because my father wanted to get married with my cousin brother. So that time I was feel like young. So I decided to, I'm not for this is not time for take care of family, have a child. So I want to be a freedom, and want to be what I want.
The sites in Kathmandu are responsible for the fact that every year millions of dollars pour into the country. The incomparable mountain backdrop features 7 of the 14 8,000-meter peaks in Nepal. However, the people themselves don't stand to benefit from it. Nepal is still one of the poorest countries in the world.